Hello and welcome to What's Playing Tonight. My name is Tyler Stans, and this is the show where we pick a movie and then we talk about it. One of us picks a movie each episode, and the other can't say no. Speaking of the other, who do I have with me?
Michael.
Welcome,
Is
Michael.
who you have with you. Hi.
How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. You been watching anything lately?
I haven't been watching a whole heck of a lot. My life has been preoccupied with God of War Ragnarok as
hell
of
yeah.
late. I'm not too incredibly far into it, because I don't have a whole lot of time to play when I do, but I'm loving it so far. It's very much if you liked 2018, you're gonna really like Ragnarok. It's been a lot of fun so far. I've also been every so often rewatching a few episodes of Batman the Animated Series because of Kevin Conroy's recent death. Very sad, but
Indeed. I'll probably be doing the same.
yeah.
Coming weeks.
just watching the episode Christmas with the Joker is still one of my favorite just Batman things ever.
Oh yeah, it's a good Christmas thing too.
Oh yeah. I mean, in general, but yeah, it's one of the first. He was one of the first actors, voice or otherwise, to do the two separate voices for Bruce Wayne and Batman. Yeah, which I'm sure is relatively common knowledge, but it's still interesting to think about. But what have you been watching?
What have I been watching? Not too much. I've been working a lot.
Same.
Played a couple of video games. Nothing new or recent that's come out.
Oh well, which ones?
I've been playing a little bit of Warhammer Vermintide with some friends.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've played that. That one's fun. It's fun to play with friends. Other than that, not so much.
It's like fantasy Left 4 Dead with rat people.
Yep.
Basically.
Oh yeah.
And then other than that, I've been on the Fortnite train again.
Yeah. I could never get into Fortnite. I don't know. Wasn't really my thing. I can't get into many of those. What do they call those? Battle royales. I can't do them. I don't know what it is. Just not for me, I suppose.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then I'll also be probably watching some Batman the Animated Series in the future. And Kevin Conroy. It's really sad. 66. I think it was cancer.
That's from what I haven't looked into it very much, but I believe it is cancer.
Yeah,
or it was cancer.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's he's been probably the most prevalent Batman voice actor for my entire life.
Oh, I'm sure for pretty much, well, I guess anybody born between the years of when he started Batman the Animated Series till probably close to 2011, 2012.
Oh, for sure.
Because he,
and anybody who's a fan of the Arkham games and
right, yeah, I will say and
I do believe he was still doing Batman stuff up to the very end.
I think he would do. He typically didn't voice Batman so much anymore. He would do Thomas Wayne or kind of like how Adam West voiced a character, in Batman the Animated Series, stuff like that.
Beware the Gray Ghost.
Yeah, he did and he did one live action appearance during the CW's Crisis event or something.
I remember seeing that.
I saw the photos. Yeah, I wasn't caught up on those shows at that point, so I was like, I don't want to watch it. Even though Tom Welling came back and did something as Clark Kent, and he was in
very, it. Much like most CW things, it was very disappointing and underwhelming.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Makes me kind of happy I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's cool that he did get to do a live action Batman thing, but why did it have to be that?
True.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
We watched a movie this week, this episode, this bye week, I
Oh
suppose.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Well, I watched it just this week. I don't know if you watched it both weeks or what.
I definitely watched it twice, but I don't remember if they were in the same week or
Yeah.
not.
Oh no. Yeah. I was gonna say mine were all this week.
And what we watched was my pick. Was in the mood to watch a submarine movie, so I picked what was it, 1990?
Correct.
1990s The Hunt for Red October. The first Tom Clancy movie.
Was it the first one that ever really? I didn't know that.
Yes.
I know there's been several. I mean, hell, there's been what? How many actors who have played Jack Ryan at this point?
I
There's
think it's like 6 now.
Alec Baldwin, Harrison Ford, Ben Affleck, Chris Pine,
Chris Pine, and then John Krasinski.
John Krasinski. So
there's
five.
Yeah.
Five. As far as I know, I guess maybe there might have been some other weird thing in between, but yeah, it's
And as far as my history with the character of Jack Ryan goes, I think I've seen all the Jack Ryan movies except the 2 with Harrison Ford.
oh, they're all this one's really the only like wow, that was a good movie because I mean I've seen this one. The only one I haven't seen Shadow Recruit with Chris Pine, and I haven't seen The Sum of All Fears with so I've seen the Alec Baldwin and the Harrison Ford ones.
I remember thinking Sum of All Fears wasn't too bad. I definitely don't remember disliking it. I do remember disliking the Chris Pine one.
Really? I heard it didn't do very well. I think that's the lowest rated out of all of them.
I like Chris Pine quite a bit, but I did.
Oh yeah,
that movie was
he's
bad.
good. He's been in some duds, but who hasn't?
Yeah, and then I haven't watched any of the TV show with John Krasinski.
Oh, I haven't either. That's on Amazon, I believe, right?
Yeah, it's on Amazon.
Yeah,
I hear it's fine.
Yeah, I only recently started really watching things on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't caught up with that. If I had been watching things while it came out, I might have given it a shot, but I don't know. It's just not my favorite spy person. Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan.
Yeah, there's not that he's not a good character, but of all of those leading spy dudes, not my favorite.
I think arguably, as far as I can tell, because I haven't read the book, which Hunt for Red October was also the first Tom Clancy book. I think that this movie might be the only one that kind of gets the character right, because he's not supposed to be like an action hero per se.
Right? Yeah, I was gonna say I like him more in this one than in subsequent, because they portray him out to be like, no, I'm a desk guy, like I'm not really supposed to be here.
He's a dork.
Yeah.
Actually, I think one of the things that I had for musings, because I have a list of likes, I have a list of dislikes, and then I have some musings. And it's one of them is, it's funny that they portray Jack Ryan as a submarine naval fanboy in his first appearance, considering how little that stuff actually factors into the rest of the series.
Right.
This guy loves submarines. There's only one submarine movie.
Yeah. Well, I was to say there's only one submarine book too. Like it just seems. Yeah.
As far as I know there are probably like 50 Jack Ryan books.
True, that's an excellent point.
He just pumped those out. But as far as this is the big one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There might be other submarine books, but I haven't researched, nor do I care enough to.
No, I don't either.
But no, it's Hunt for Red October is a 1990 American submarine spy thriller film directed by John McTiernan. Produced by Mace Newfield and starring, all right, fasten your seatbelt.
Yeah.
Sean Connery, Alec Baldwin, Scott Glenn, James Earl Jones, Sam Neill, Tim Curry, and Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah, just an absolutely stacked cast.
And that's probably not even everybody. Like, I mean, there's probably some names that I didn't give as much
um,
importance to, but like to me, those were the big ones.
yeah, there's a lot of big names.
But
Just yeah, throughout it, there were just it's just in crazy. It's just crazy to think of other stuff that these people have done. Sam Neill being Dr. Alan Grant. Scott Glenn has been in lots of stuff.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Silence of the Lambs and
he was
Backdraft.
He was Stick on Daredevil.
Yeah, and Stick in Daredevil, the Netflix series.
He was in the Hulu series Castle Rock, the first season.
Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't seen Castle Rock.
He mostly just plays like a disgruntled old man nowadays.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what he was playing at any point. So.
Yeah. But actually, I think he's one of my favorite characters in this movie.
Oh no, he's awesome. I really liked him. Alec Baldwin does a good job, of course.
Yeah, he's great.
Sam Neill does a good job.
Sean Connery's playing himself.
Oh yeah. I mean, except for that hairpiece.
Except for that hairpiece, yeah. James Earl Jones is badass in this movie.
Yes. I would have liked to have seen more of Stellan Skarsgård as Captain Topolov.
That's actually one of my dislikes, is that I needed more Stellan from this.
They really got him to do that part. Which he does a good job, but I just wish I would have been able to see more of him.
He's in the movie for like maybe 10 minutes. I don't know how big he was at the time, though.
In the U.S., probably not very. I know he did a lot of.
Oh, excuse me. He's been acting since 1972, so never mind.
Yeah. But he was in a lot more foreign stuff, I think, way back when. Because I know he was in one of the. It's a lot of, in his earlier stuff. There's a lot of like
Swedish films.
Swedish. That's the word. Yeah. But yeah, he I don't think he was as popular in the United States at that point.
But I think it's safe to say, we forgot Gates McFadden as Jack Ryan's wife. She's in the movie for exactly 2.5 minutes, I believe.
It's not less?
She was, of course, Dr. Beverly Crusher on Star Trek The Next Generation. No, she is not in the movie. Not very many women in this movie, actually. I can name 3.
No, not at all.
You got Jack Ryan's wife, their daughter, and the flight attendant, and that's another one of my dislikes, is that Jack Ryan had to explain turbulence to the flight attendant. Are you kidding me?
Felt the need to explain turbulence to someone that is on planes for a living. Like,
I don't use the term mansplaining a lot, but that might be the classic case of mansplaining.
Yeah,
right there.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I every time I watch this movie and that part comes up, I'm like, yeah, she probably knows what turbulence is.
It's really explaining.
I'm sure it was written. I'm sure it was written just to be like, oh, he's quote unquote smart.
I mean, that's
but
definitely.
There's other ways to do that besides, belittling someone whose job it is to know what turbulence is.
Yeah, is he going to explain jet engine fuel to the pilot next?
Right? Yeah. But yeah, definitely some missteps with the ladies in the film.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's all situational. There would not be.
It's a Cold War submarine film. So yeah, I mean, it's what is it? 1984 is when the movie's supposed to be set.
1984, yeah.
So fair enough. I mean, I know there definitely was women in the military. I don't know if there would have been any on the submarines themselves. I don't know that. Listeners, if you didn't watch the movie for some reason, the story is set during the Cold War era and involves a rogue Soviet naval captain who wishes to defect to the United States with his officers, and
the Soviet Navy's newest and most advanced ballistic missile submarine. That would be the Red October. A fictional improvement on the Soviet Typhoon class submarine. And a CIA analyst, that's Jack Ryan, correctly deduces his motive and must prove his theory to the U.S. Navy before a violent confrontation between the Soviet and the American navies spirals out of control. Yeesh.
Yeah.
Hard to say that.
Yes, it is. It was hard to listen to it, if I'm being honest.
Sean Connery plays Marcos Ramius.
Correct.
And he's the best submarine captain. And they just gave him the new experimental Red October.
And he trained most of the
Navy.
the Soviet's navy, or at least their submarine captains and whatnot.
So it's a classic, it's a classic tale of Cold War era shenanigans.
Oh yeah,
and the movie would have you believe that this might have happened, but the government would never tell you about it.
Yeah. At this point, it would have become public knowledge, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And I think there are actual stories that are kind of close to what happened.
Oh, I'm sure
movie.
this. Yeah, I mean, most of the Tom Clancy stuff is like, well, there's nuggets of this might have happened in there, but overall, it's a work of fiction. Like,
I have on one of my musings, I had to call in an expert opinion to explain to me defection or defecting.
Right.
So I called my father, who is
that
in
would
the
be
military,
the man who would know,
and was in the military during the Cold War. And I was like, I asked him, so he's trying to defect. Why is this like why are they accepting him into the States? And how does immigration factor into this? And he said to me that basically defecting is allowed because they were high value assets and also seeking asylum, which I guess was a thing. I know it's like a thing during like actual wars, but I guess the Cold War kind of counts for that just because.
Well, I'm sure they were like, well, if we,
and of course it's a
movie,
we want like.
Oh yeah, well, but I mean, he would be the one you would want to defect to your country.
Yes.
So you're probably going to give him whatever he needs,
And my dad also said lots of Russians defected during the Cold War.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure they didn't like what was going on, all of them. So
no, I'm sure they still don't actually.
Right, that's a fair point.
Yeah. How wild is it that the political officer's last name is Putin in this movie?
Yeah, that killed me.
I think the book actually came out in 1984, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so, somewhere around there. But I heard that and I had to make a little face because I was like, that's really funny.
It's probably just a like pretty common name in Russian.
Oh, I'm sure it's not an uncommon surname. Like,
yeah, but if you've ever wanted to watch Sean Connery break Putin's neck, this is the movie for you.
Yeah, holy shit.
As it turns out, and that's one of my likes is how cold-blooded that kill was.
Yeah. Then he just dumps the tea on the ground afterward.
He slipped on the tea.
Yeah, broke his whole neck.
Yeah, you slip. OSHA would throw a fit, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I'm just saying, there'd be a fine there, but. Yeah, so let's get into this movie a little bit. We can talk about John McTiernan. What all do you know about old John McTiernan, the director?
I know he did. I know he did Predator, Die Hard.
Yeah,
and then Die Hard with a Vengeance. Did he do Last Action Hero?
He did do Last Action Hero.
Okay, yeah.
This man had an impressive 10-year run.
Yeah.
From Predator to Die Hard with a Vengeance, I would say. I don't know about Medicine Man. I've never seen it, but he's put out some movies. Interesting thing about him is that I guess he got in trouble for spying on other Hollywood people.
What?
And that's why he hasn't worked since 2003.
Fun.
Yeah,
Who would he have been spying on?
I have
For
no
what?
idea. I didn't look too much into it. Invasion of
Movie
Privacy.
ideas? Like,
Uh, I don't know. Oh,
well,
excuse
it's
me.
fine. I mean,
He was film producer Donna Dubrow filed suit against him for invasion of privacy and other claims arising from her belief that he hired someone to wiretap her during their divorce. Oh, she was married
okay.
to him also. Probably should have mentioned that, but
Well, still, wiretapping anybody is not cool.
yeah. So he didn't actually go to jail until like 2013, but I think
Oh my
maybe
god.
like the allegations and everything was enough to scare people away from working with him.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
And
Looks like
then
he's got something in pre-production.
oh, maybe it's a new Jack Ryan thing.
It's Tau Ceti 4 is what it's called.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I don't either. It's very much there's not much information about it. It's just yeah, it says it's in pre-production, so we'll see. But
We got old Basil Polidoris who did the score for this
the
movie.
score, yeah.
He's among his works are Conan the Barbarian, Red Dawn,
Oh,
RoboCop, Starship Troopers, and Free Willy.
all over the map this man.
I know. This is like a 90s late 80s task force made this movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean because it obviously it came out in 1990, so they made it in the 80s. It plays very much like an 80s film.
I think the first time I watched this movie, I didn't know that it was the same guy that did Predator and Die
Yeah.
Hard. But now that I know that, I can see traces of the cheesiness of Predator.
Oh yeah. I mean,
And I'm just gonna go on the record now. Predator is a perfect movie. It is one of the best action movies that has ever been made and ever will be made. But it is incredibly cheesy. And for as serious as this movie tries to take itself, there's a little bit of cheese coming
oh
through.
yeah.
But
The
I'm
whole
here for it though.
yeah, the whole bit when they when the crew from the Dallas meets the officers from the Red October and Jack Ryan takes a cigarette and the other guy's like, I think he's turning green and he coughs it up. Like,
After saying that he didn't smoke this whole movie.
right, yeah.
Actually, let me tell you something about The Hunt for Red October that I really appreciate. How many things that get set up and then are paid off in this movie. Because like you got the cigarettes,
Yeah.
you got the little submarine that they used to get onto the Red October in the first place. Jack Ryan can't sleep on planes, but now he's sleeping on a plane at the end of the movie.
At the end, yeah.
There's
Well, because he hasn't slept in days.
There's a lot of that in this movie.
Yeah.
They set numerous things up to pay them off later, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. I would say it really works as an ensemble as well. Like just everybody together really. Like I don't think any one particular actor really stood apart. I mean, obviously Sean Connery and Alec Baldwin are our quote unquote main characters, but without that supporting cast, this film doesn't get as much recognition as it did.
No, for sure.
Even Tim Curry, like with as Dr. Petrov.
I love Tim Curry's character.
Yeah.
In this movie.
Yeah.
He's such a he's so naive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You'll receive the Order of Lenin for this.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's just like the most idealistic.
Yeah.
Greenhorn character on the whole submarine.
Yeah. And
what are some things you like about this movie?
How the action actually holds up.
I agree.
Pretty well after like all the under the sea torpedoes and submarine stuff. It actually still looks pretty good. Even after oh my gosh, it's been what 32 years.
32 years.
Yeah. and it keeps its tension pretty well throughout. There's a couple down moments, but like there's always something going wrong, or uh, with the Red October being sabotaged by a cook.
Yeah. Well, they set that up too, though. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like
Oh,
they
yeah,
introduced the cook right at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
This is like a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
A lot of callbacks.
It's that final 20 minutes is really really exciting
Yes.
to watch. Just and like it's shot really well. The colors are nice.
I'm telling you, man. I have that on my list of likes too. I think that the camera work in this movie is pretty damn good.
Oh yeah. Except for the end when they're on the boat.
Oh my god.
It's sailing in the dark.
Oh my god. That is some of the worst green screen I've ever seen in my life. That's one of my like the one special effect failure in this movie.
Is right there.
It's right there.
It was painful to watch. Like
the cinematographer Jan de Bont, the Dutch guy who did a lot of director of photography for movies like Cujo, Die Hard, and The Hunt for Red October, obviously, and Basic Instinct. Right. He also is known.
So he's the guy.
He's the guy, but he also made a switch to directing. And,
really?
He gave us 1994's Speed.
Oh wow!
Which I've never seen. He also directed Speed 2, which I always forget exists.
Oh yeah, well yeah. I mean, we all should.
He directed Twister.
Okay, I think I've seen that once.
Twister's pretty good if I
remember. On like TV.
And speaking of things that are pretty good, but this one isn't, The Haunting from 1999 with Owen Wilson. And,
oh no.
Yeah. Oh, and then his last movie that he directed was 2003's Lara Croft Tomb Raider: The Cradle of Life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gross.
And then he hasn't really done much after that.
Probably not.
Oh, he was going to direct? Oh, hold on now. He was gonna direct the first American Godzilla movie, but then it didn't work out, and we got Roland Emmerich's movie instead. So there we go.
Well,
I don't know who won there. Not us. We didn't.
Not the viewer. That's for sure.
Not at all.
It's rare that we as a viewer do benefit from a United States-made Godzilla movie.
I disagree with you.
Well, yeah, that's a subject for another time, probably.
It will be now that you've started that fire.
I'm not saying I dislike it, but I just,
I'm just saying, you made that bed, we're gonna lay in it.
All right.
But The Hunt for Red October had a lot of interesting people working on it. I actually think it won
best sound editing at the Oscars. Yeah,
sound mixing and film editing, which I would agree with. I think this movie is very sharp looking.
Oh yeah, the cuts are very clean. You hardly notice some of them because they're just so smooth. The sound design is, I mean, with all the submarines and the sonar and the torpedoes and the whooshing of the, what do they call it, the caterpillar drive over the sonar that thinks it's a seismic event. And,
yeah. Actually, I'm gonna send you. Do you have your phone on you?
Yes. Yeah, I always
send you what is not only probably the best shot in the movie, but might be the greatest shot in cinematic history. And it's right after the bullets don't do too well on whatever the line is. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And it shows Jack Ryan, like, with the gun, among all these missiles, and I'm
Oh
like,
right, yeah. Looking down that missile hallway,
and like
yeah,
the
yeah,
music is swelling. I'm like, this is bad ass.
yeah, yeah. It really makes you
Pumps you up.
appreciate. Yeah. Well, and I was gonna say there's good spy movies, there's good submarine movies, but rarely are they one and the same.
No, that's. I mean, I haven't seen too many submarine spy thriller films.
Right.
I have seen a
Uh,
couple of submarine movies. I think this might be the submarine movie though.
oh yeah. Out of
I've never seen Das Boot. I guess I think that one's pretty famous, but
yeah, it's Crimson Tide. That one's
Crimson
not
Tide is
bad.
also really good.
Yeah.
Different type of movie, but it's very good.
Different, yeah, very different. I can't even remember what other submarine movies because I mean,
You got
how many submarine movies?
K-19, The Widowmaker with Harrison Ford playing a Russian and Liam
Uh,
Neeson playing a Russian. I don't remember if it's any
oof.
good or not, but
I mean, just based off of what you told me, my guess would be no. But
get off my submarine.
yeah, I just can't imagine the Irishman playing uh, playing a Russian and the grumbly Harrison Ford playing a Russian.
I kind of
I do like how for this film they didn't force the Russian accents. I think that benefited them.
I think so too. So
Because
like
one, I don't think Sean Connery could have done.
no, and it's weird. It is funny because it's like some whenever they do. Which, by the way, on my list of likes, the transition from them speaking Russian to English is peak cinema.
Fair enough.
I really enjoy that, and also I think it's a cool way to get out of the whole speaking Russian for the rest of the movie. And the fact
Yeah.
that they did just say, you know what, just use your regular accents, I also appreciate that because I think bad Russian accents could be really hokey.
Oh yeah, like it takes all of the intensity out of it if it's not a good accurate accent. Like you're bordering on like parody
Exactly.
with some of them. Like
You know, like, and I'm like, I'm sure that Sam Neill and Tim Curry can do Russian accents, but I think it is the right choice to let them just
oh
use their
yeah,
regular voices.
yeah. Cause well, and I'll tell you what it is. There's that line right before the torpedo hits the what's the Alpha,
Uh huh.
and it's a guy saying in a Russian accent, "You arrogant ass, you killed us," and it sounds so goofy. He's like, "You arrogant ass, you killed us." I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like it just
you've killed us.
yeah, like it's so choppy, and I'm sure that was just some guy they got to do it on the day.
Yeah, it's
But
like some serious ADR or something.
yeah,
It's like someone put that in as a
honestly,
joke.
yeah, it really wasn't very good.
No, but it's almost so bad that it is good.
Right,
You arrogant ass, you've killed us.
yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. I wrote it down. That's how jarring it was. Like,
I have a couple lines written down also.
yeah.
Oh man. So on things of that I like, I have all the choral Soviet music really does set the mood for this movie.
Oh yeah.
I think a lot of the background stuff is very, very moody, and I like it.
Yeah. Definitely a good score. A very fitting score for this one.
It does get a little 90s, late 80s whenever the action stuff starts, but for the most part,
I mean, it's always I mean, it's gonna.
Yeah. Let's see. Alec Baldwin. He does a great job portraying Ryan as a total desk job guy who could do the action if he needs to, and he's also a dork.
But is reluctant. Like doesn't want to do the action very much, but will if he must. Even as like I'm not a field guy. Like I'm just
Yeah, I'm an analyst.
yeah. It's fun seeing the young, like a young. I'm so used to seeing him as he looks like well, more or less now.
Yeah,
It's so funny watching him as like a younger guy because the voice is
the same
basically the
almost.
same. Yeah, it's a little younger, obviously,
Yeah, he's
but
like young and in shape and low key kind of hot. I'm just gonna say, Alec Baldwin could get it in 1990.
yeah. Uh, but yeah,
Uh,
it's just weird seeing him like that because I haven't watched some of his other like Glengarry Glen Ross and stuff like that. I haven't seen that, so
I think the only one I've seen from this era, he was in Beetlejuice.
oh,
Uh,
that's right, yeah,
but other than that, no. Most of my Alec Baldwin knowledge comes from later stuff.
yeah, uh, yeah, like The Departed and uh,
How about the
whatnot.
how about that set design for this movie?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that's not shot on a real submarine, but it sure does look
Oh
like it.
man, it sure feels like it. And you can actually tie in some of the talk about the camera work with this because I've noticed something on my second rewatch is that when they're on the submarine, all the cameras are like close-ups of people's faces and stuff talking. So
Yeah,
it makes it feel like
it
you're
makes it
on
feel like a tight space. That
exactly.
yeah, yeah,
Just
they
a neat trick they can do to make everything feel very claustrophobic.
yeah, yeah. I would say the way those sets were built, obviously I'm not a submarine expert, but
No, but I wish I was.
right, because then I could compare it, and
I will say, submarines are cool. You will never ever get me on one.
no, not to go below water. I mean, I've been on one.
Oh yeah, I would
I've
take a
walked
tour.
through it.
I
Yeah.
suppose. Just like I would take a
Um,
tour of a spaceship, but you will not get me in space.
yeah. You will not catch me deep below the sea or out of the atmosphere. I will fly in a plane.
Yeah,
But
I will do that. That's like a normal thing people do, though.
right, yeah.
Um, I
Well,
think
technically, it's normal for people to be in submarines, but
well, I no, you have to get like training and stuff to go in a submarine.
well, true. I guess yeah, that's a fair point. You can't just hop on a sub. I
Also,
mean, you could, I
the
suppose.
plane ride is over in a couple of hours to a day, I suppose. But like a submarine, you're on that thing for however
Weeks.
long they want you on there, and
Yeah.
there's no getting out. Like
Right. You can't. Yeah. You can't just pop out for a stroll at any time.
no.
Yeah.
But I think
Ugh.
the thing that really made me notice the set design, that scene where he's in the shipyard where he's about to go ask his submarine buddy about the picture that he's got. It just I really appreciate it when we talk about these older movies where everything is shot like on location or using real sets and not
Yeah.
a bunch of green/blue screen, except for that last part, but which we've already talked about and was awful.
It's
But
almost like they forgot to shoot it, and
it does,
and then
definitely.
they were like, oh shit, we forgot that scene. We got to shoot this.
It is kind of weird. It does seem like a reshoot or something like that
Yeah.
you would see
Yeah.
nowadays for all these million $120 million movies.
Yeah. That then go back and reshoot and change the whole thing.
Yeah, change the whole thing. They make movies like they make video games now, where they could just patch things in and out,
Right.
and it's
Oh no,
very,
we're gonna re-release that with some uncut footage. Why?
yeah. Everybody go see Spider-Man: No Way Home, the super fun edition or whatever they called it.
Yeah.
I did not see that.
No. Yeah.
I
No.
don't care to see it.
I won't do that. Yeah.
That movie was fine. You don't need another $15 from me, Sony.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you have to pay $15 for a movie ticket?
I'm just guessing.
Oh, okay. I'd say for
I
me,
haven't
it's
been
like.
to a movie theater. The last time I went to a movie theater was with you and Emily, and
Oh, okay.
to go
So
see
that was yeah.
Don't Worry, Darling, and boy, was that worth it.
Yeah, I went. Was that last week? I think it was last week to go see Black Adam.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was all right. Not bad.
I
Not great.
I'll take
But
your word for it.
It was fun. It was fun.
I kind of wanted to go see Black Panther, but
I do, but I don't know when. I can't. I won't be able to watch it this this week. I might be able to catch it next week. I wasn't able to. The theater here just gets so packed so
Really?
quick.
Yeah, you do live in
Yeah,
a bigger area.
yeah. I'm used to being able to go, well, if I can do it a few days before, I'll get a good seat. But now it's like if it's a brand new movie, if I don't book it when the tickets go on sale, I'm not going to watch it the opening weekend. So
Yeah, I'll probably
which
catch
is
it on Disney Plus.
I do want to see it.
I do too. I do too. It's not nothing against the movie. I just don't go to the theater as much as I used to.
Yeah, I have a subscription thing where I get one free movie a month or whatever, one free ticket. So
That
I go
might get
I
me
go
to
at
the
least
theater.
I go usually once a month.
Yeah, if I was doing that, I would probably feel obligated. But
Right. they stack. So if I miss a month, I just have two.
oh well, that's nice. You could save
Yeah.
them for like a month, like a hot month. Then
Oh yeah, yeah. And I've done that before, and it's really nice. And they got this nice little snack pack where it's like a little bit of popcorn, a little bit of soda, and fruit snacks, and it's like the perfect thing if you're going by yourself.
yeah,
Because then you don't eat a whole tub of popcorn to yourself,
right.
and you get fruit snacks. So like,
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a win to me.
who doesn't love a good Welch's fruit snack?
I'm sure there's somebody out there, some
Yeah,
sicko.
yeah, or maybe they're allergic.
Well, some sicko. Yeah. Fight through the pain.
Right.
There's a lot of techno babble in this movie,
Oh yeah.
which is something Tom Clancy was kind of known for. Have you ever played a Metal Gear Solid game?
I have played most Metal Gear Solid games.
Do you think Hideo Kojima's ever seen this movie?
He's had to have.
There's no way he hasn't.
Yeah, he has this on repeat.
Yeah, this is like you could totally just like insert Solid Snake into this movie, and he would not feel out of place.
No.
And I think you could say that for most of these Jack Ryan things, especially the ones that do take place in the Cold War.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. They're very much. It's written in a way that's supposed to make you think that they know what they're talking about.
Yes, very much.
But
so.
you may not. And some of them, if you look into it, you're like, "This is nothing. You're saying nothing."
Yeah. Magneto,
but some of them,
hydraulic.
Yeah, some of them it's necessary, but
I will say this. I do think that they do a good job of not making the audience feel stupid when they watch it, because it's like, it sounds complicated and it sounds smart, but it doesn't sound like too out there.
No, not at all. I was able to understand at least a basic knowledge of it as I went through it.
Yeah, you can.
And I don't know nothing about no submarine.
No, I don't know nothing about no submarines, but I almost feel like I do after watching the October. But for all we know, maybe Tom Clancy doesn't know anything about submarines either.
True. The book probably wouldn't have done as well if he didn't.
I think the book has more techno babble in it.
Oh, I'm sure. Have you seen that book?
It's pretty thick, I think.
It's huge. I mean, all of his are like that. Yeah. It's like, why is this book 4 books?
They probably made the correct choice to simplify this movie for the audience.
Oh yeah, I mean, it still ended up being 2 hours and 15 minutes or something. So
yeah, a bit long. Bit long movie, and there's definitely some things that I think you could cut, and have just a lot of the downtime. Basically, I know it's character building stuff, but
yeah. Well, and it's back in the late 80s, early 90s, they did a lot of shots of people walking places.
Yes.
Like, if we simply cut out all of the travel, then we could shave off a good at least 5 minutes. Like, or at least the useless travel. Some of it they're talking and walking, but not most of the time.
Exactly. They could cut a lot of that stuff, and you really
Yeah,
wouldn't lose too much.
that's most movies of that time though. So it's
Yeah.
product of its era.
The I think my favorite character in the movie, one of them, um, is what is his name?
Do you know the actor's name?
No, I do
No.
not. I think okay, the president's chief of staff. Oh my god, chief of staff guy. Why do I even do a podcast? I
Right.
can't talk. No, the chief of
staff.
this. You're gonna make me say it again. The chief of staff guy. And I think his name is Jeffrey Pelt.
Oh yeah. The guy who talks to the Russian consul.
Yes, and the guy, he's very I like how chaotic he seems. He's like, I'm a politician, so I lie and I steal the lollipops from babies, and like, he's always got this shit-eating grin.
I also like to keep my options open. One of the more and
I just like
memorable things.
How sassy he is to that Russian guy.
Oh yeah.
Did you
believe it or not?
Submarine.
Believe it or not, the actor Richard Jordan played Duncan Idaho in 1984's Dune.
I've never seen 84's Doom.
I watched I couldn't get into it. I watched a few minutes and it just couldn't do it for me.
Duncan Idaho, what a name.
Right, yeah, this takes place, hundreds of, years into the future, and we still got characters named Paul. And Duncan Idaho,
Richard Jordan, he died at the age of 56 in 1993.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah. Brain cancer, goddamn.
Wow.
Oh, he was in The Fugitive. Oh, wow. Who was Dr. Charles Nichols in The Fugitive? That's not Harrison Ford's character. I don't know. I have to rewatch that. That's another good movie. Yeah.
But it's just, there's a lot of, it just goes to show even more all of the talent that was put into this movie, that while that guy didn't have much to do in this one, clearly is a good actor and has been in other things. And
we didn't even talk about Fred Thompson, who was also in this movie.
Oh my gosh.
Fred Thompson, who I think went on to be an actual U.S. Senator.
Right, of course.
He was also in Die Hard 2 and a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, like Baby's Day Out.
I've never seen that.
Gee, I wonder why.
I've never heard of Baby's Day Out.
But yeah, it's got lots of people.
I don't believe that this is a real movie, Michael. This doesn't seem like a real movie. This is like something you'd see in the dollar store. In the 50 cent section.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about Baby's Day Out?
Yeah, this doesn't seem like a real movie to me. I think you made this up and you created a Wikipedia page for it.
Yeah. I typed it up real lickety split here.
Well, anyway. How about that 80s projector they were using for Jack Ryan's little slideshow?
Oh yeah. That whole table scene where they're, he's there is kind of just to consult, and then asks what day it is, and
yeah, I really like that scene actually.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the scene that's the scene that shows you that he's smart and analytical and
assertive also.
And can be, you didn't have to show the turbulence scene. We got it all from this one.
Yeah. And we also get another one of the greatest lines in this movie with James Earl Jones saying, "I said speak your mind, Jack, but Jesus." And then he giggles. Yeah. He might be a little chaotic himself, actually.
Right, yeah. No, I really liked everybody does such a good job Yeah, really the only complaint, like the big complaint for me is they could have trimmed a little fat, and that hairpiece is ridiculous.
Oh, Sean Connery's hairpiece.
Yeah, just why couldn't he have just been bald? Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
is
He
the
does.
character described as having spiky white hair? Like,
Uh, it's a Russian look at the time.
well, yeah, true. Just look at Ivan Drago.
Sean Connery was only 60 in this movie.
Wow, really?
Yep, he was born in 1930. This came out in 19. He was either 59 or 60. He actually looks a lot older than that.
Yeah. Well, when you lived the life that man lived, it doesn't surprise me that you would look a lot older.
Yeah.
As you go. I mean, the man was James Bond in,
He was the first James Bond.
Yeah, he was the first James Bond. Probably lived like that for a while
Yeah,
afterward.
I can imagine. Yeah, indeed.
Because one of the most popular franchises ever to this day.
Yep, they're still making those.
Yeah, and they'll continue. I liked No Time to Die, but
I haven't seen it yet.
It was pretty good.
I
Wasn't
will
great.
Get around to it.
That's fair.
The Russians don't take a dump, son, without a plan. That is something Fred Thompson says to Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
And I wrote that down because I liked it.
I want to say I really only caught of the lines was that "you arrogant ass, you killed us." That was it. It shook all the other ones out of my mind because it was just so goofy.
Like actual good line, like Scott Glenn's character Bart Mancuso. Whenever they're doing the Morse code through the periscope, this movie is really good. Actually, I don't know if we've given it. I don't know if we've mentioned it. But this movie is actually really good.
I was gonna say, with how we're talking about it, it seems like we're on the fence. It is good, and you should watch it.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool shit that happens in this movie.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
But like when they're doing the Morse code over the periscope, and he's like, "How did you know he was gonna turn to the starboard?" And he's like, "Oh, I didn't. That was just a guess. I'm sorry."
Yeah, he's like, I had a 50-50 chance, and I'm tired. Like, just.
And then he's like, "Oh, that's all right, Mr. Ryan. My Morse is so rusty, I may be sending dimensions on Playmate of the Month."
Yeah.
Just like that dry, sarcastic delivery.
Yeah.
I really, really like Scott Glenn and his whole crew of submarine people.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Anytime those guys were on screen, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
I like a lot of the Russian guys also.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the big name actors are on the Russian submarine.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say you spend more time arguably with the Russian crew than you do the Jack Ryan or the American side.
Interesting thing to note, actually, because and I've only, like I said, I haven't seen all of them. But this being the first Jack Ryan movie, it's not much of a Jack Ryan movie.
Not much of a Jack Ryan movie. That's probably why they called it. That's probably because I mean, later on they start labeling it as the Jack Ryan film series,
right?
But I don't know if they, really. Well, I know they plan to make several of them. That's why you still got whatever the next one was in '92. Even though
Games, I believe,
I think it was Patriot Games. You still got that one, even though Alec Baldwin backed out.
Is there a reason he backed out?
I'm pretty sure it had something to do with he didn't really. There's conflicting things about it, but basically didn't like how they were writing the next films, and just how the way it was going. It's a very similar reason to why Harrison Ford dropped out after Clear and Present Danger, because he didn't like the scripts he was being sent. Like, it's just one of those things of they didn't like how the series was going, I guess.
Harrison Ford doesn't like anything.
Well, true. Yeah. Except for that earring. He likes that earring.
He likes that earring. But don't ask him about Star Wars and don't ask him about Indiana
Well,
Jones.
no, ask him about He loves Indiana Jones.
Oh, I just always think of that clip where he's like walking out onto the stage for the Oscars or something, I think, and it plays
Yeah,
the Indiana Jones theme as he's walking out, and he gets up to the microphone and he's like, "That damn music has followed me my entire life."
yeah,
Yeah,
and he's made a pretty good living off of it.
he sure
So
has.
he
I do
shouldn't be
like how.
complaining.
I like how grumpy he is. Star Wars fans can suck it.
Well, no, it is funny. I mean, yeah,
No, I understand.
yeah.
I think Harrison Ford might be the only one who can get away with that. When Mark Hamill does it, it's a little weird because he has nothing else but some like
He's
voice
got all the
work.
voice act. Yeah, he's got all the voice work.
Yeah, but that's not like being Indiana Jones, Jack Ryan, The Fugitive.
True.
Harrison Ford's filmography and Mark Hamill's filmography are way different.
Very good point.
How about you? Pretty cool. I think James Earl Jones is in the 3. He's in the 2 with Harrison Ford also.
I believe so. I can double check though.
At least I thought it was. But that part where they're firing the torpedo at the Red October, and then you see a finger come down and self-destruct it, and it's James Earl Jones, and he's like, "I was never here," and that torpedo didn't explode. I love that.
Oh yeah, and yet
so
he was Admiral Greer in Patriot Games, and let's see if we can find
Clear and Present Danger.
Clear and Present Danger. There it is. Yep. Okay. Yeah, he was.
And then I'm just gonna check something before I say it.
Fair enough. Always back up your speech with sources.
Admiral Greer is not in any of the other stuff.
No, I can't remember the name of the character that Morgan Freeman plays in The Sum of All Fears, but
he's someone completely different. And then Kevin Costner is the one who recruits the Chris Pine guys. So
yeah. Well, and that's a prequel technically, even though it's not, and it is, and it
even though it's weird with these Jack Ryan things because the John Krasinski show takes place in the modern times, so they can't adapt any of the stuff that has to do with the Russians.
Yeah, they have to do everything else. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that it kind of loses some of its.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Like, I think this movie works so well as a Cold War era thing because it's just the vibe.
The whole. I mean, most of the Jack Ryan stuff is a product of and talks about the Cold War.
Yes, like trying to plug that character into like
modern day
the war
stuff.
On terror and stuff like that. It's just it's not as
it's
interesting.
It's not quite the same. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't get stuff like Russian submarine because you're fighting the people that like they're insurgents and stuff like that. They're not organized. It's not as spy-y.
Well, and it's more it's not as puzzle piece. It's more these are the terrorists.
Right,
Let's
we have
go
to find
stop
the right
them.
terrorist. Yeah.
Yeah. Versus this where he has multiple scenes of him being like, well, wait a minute. We don't have to worry about the crew getting off the boat because he probably already thought of that. Like it.
Yes.
Just there's just so many nice scenes of just some of that's I wouldn't say better than because the action is just really well done, but that stands toe to toe with the action scenes.
Do you like? Because there's really not that much action in this movie.
No.
There's just like a couple of the submarine dodging, I suppose. They don't have a full-on submarine fight or anything.
No.
And then there's the shootout with Jack Ryan and the cook at the end of the movie.
And the neck breaking. Don't forget the neck breaking.
But it's all very quick, and it's not. I wouldn't call this an action movie by any means.
No, I'd call it. Yeah, I'd
like a thriller.
Call it more of a political thriller than anything else. Like,
do you like how wet Alec Baldwin gets at the end of this movie in that action scene?
I always find that funny because like he's crawling around and then all of a sudden just gets soaking wet and that pipe falls on him. And then he's good. You know, he's all right.
Jack Ryan's a little funny guy in this movie. Always being repeating the lines that were just said to him,
Right.
like in a begrudging manner or whatever.
Right.
It's things don't react well to bullets. Well, neither do I.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to watch my shooting. Oh,
yeah.
Alec.
The. I have to watch where I shoot. Yeah.
I have
That's
to
very
watch where I shoot.
that all seems very Alec Baldwin.
Yeah. Funny guy, Alec Baldwin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, he's been in several comedies. And what was that show, 30 Rock?
Yeah, I've never seen an episode of it.
And The Boss Baby. So
yeah,
he is the Boss Baby.
Cinematic
masterpiece.
majesty. Yeah. I've never seen The Boss Baby, but I believe you.
You don't have to. I wish I wouldn't have.
I believe you on that too.
Yeah.
We've actually gone through all my dislikes already. That's how short my list was.
Mine are pretty much done as well.
And I think we've gone through most of my likes. What do you have?
I think we've gone through most of mine too. It's just I really like how it doesn't focus so hard, because the 80s were full of movies that are like, let's have these shirtless dudes.
Oh yeah.
Firing big guns with,
which is funny because it is the Predator guy. And that is the most of those movies, I would say.
Right, yeah, but it's nice to see, like, even out of all of that, we can still get something more contained and more story driven rather than action driven. Which, nothing wrong with action driven movies. I'll be the first.
I'm here for it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I like a good Predator movie. I like what was the? Oh, I can't think of it at the moment. But I like those '80s action movies just fine. But I like this too.
If you like action movies, I have some good news for you. Every single other Jack Ryan movie misses the point and turns into an action movie.
Oh yeah, I knew that. That's why I don't really like the other ones that much. I mean, the Harrison Ford ones are fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I really don't remember that Ben Affleck one at all.
I
almost want to rewatch it.
I don't think I've seen that. I know I haven't seen Shadow Recruit, but
Shadow Recruit is not good.
I've heard. That's partly why I haven't seen it.
So something I noticed, this is my last musing that I came up with while watching this movie, is that Star Trek is just submarines.
I mean, yeah.
And actually, I forgot one of my dislikes. While I'm glad that Bart did go to the Red October, I doubt the U.S. sub captain would go himself.
Oh yeah, he would not. I mean, that is some dramatization type shit right there. Yeah,
the guy, the actual submarine captain, is going to go over to the Russian sub captain.
Would have sent anybody else.
Which brings me back to my musing. What is this, like Kirk going down to the planet every episode, even though he should be up on the damn ship? He should
be with the ship, being the captain.
Being in charge and stuff. But no, like, it really is, submarine stuff is very similar to, or I guess Star Trek is very similar to submarine stuff.
Which makes sense, it is still a ship, and it is in an environment that you cannot step outside into.
Yeah. That's really all I got to say about The Hunt for Red October.
Yeah.
Good movie. I guess we should move on to... We don't have any comments, I don't think.
No, I don't know if a lot of the folks who would comment have seen this one yet.
Actually, I can answer that for you. So, just heads up, listeners. We now have the ability to make community posts on our YouTube channel. So going forth, I'm going to put a poll out that'll ask if you've seen the movie or not, and then you can go answer it. And I'm going to read it on the show like I'm about to right now. So I posted, have you seen The Hunt for Red October? We got 7 votes. 57% yes, and 43%
Oh,
no.
well, so half and half. All right,
It's about half and half.
about half and half. That's
I do think this is
uh,
probably one of the best movies that we've probably covered on the show.
um, yeah. No, you're probably. I mean, yeah. In terms of just
Just like
purely
actual
cinema,
movie. Yeah.
right? Yeah, just of because we've done. Oh gosh, how have I already forgotten? Um, well, you and I together, we've done Halloween Ends,
Oh,
Scream.
I'm sorry. I forgot that we did Halloween Ends. That is actually the best
Oh,
movie that we've.
that's the best one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've only done Halloween Ends and Scream together, and before that is Friday the 13th, The Lake House,
Oh,
Blade,
God.
Independence Day, The Sixth Day,
Oh, God.
Where's the Money,
Oh, never mind. That's the
Nightmare on
one.
Elm Street, Army of the Dead. Ugh.
Warriors is pretty
The
good.
Warriors is a good movie, but I would still say Red October is better. Um, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Get
Another good movie from
Shorty,
1990.
The Bat,
Oh, The Bat.
Frequently Asked Questions About Time Travel, and The Evil Dead.
I can't, even though I want to, in very well, in good conscience, claim that any of the horror stuff we've covered is better than Hunt for Red October. But
It's not.
in my heart, um, I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna say it. Anyway, we did actually get a comment. Gibb
Oh.
said that Sean Connery's Russian is unparalleled.
Ah,
And that's all we got for our comments.
well,
But we do welcome all comments. And if you want to comment
yes.
on the next episode, you can down in the comment section on YouTube or by emailing us at what'splayingtonight@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at tonightplaying. There's also a link to the Discord down in the description. We have our link tree down there, which has links to all of our stuff, including both mine and Michael's Letterboxd accounts. So you can see how right or wrong we are about the movies we've been watching.
Yes. Please comment. It gives us more to talk about.
It does.
And it might make us think of things that we ourselves could not. It's always good to get questions and point of views and stuff like that.
So, yeah. But let's go ahead and give our ratings for the Hunt for Red October. I'm going to let you go first on this one.
Oh, okay. If I were to give the Hunt for Red October a rating, I'm going to give it a solid, let's say 4 out of 5 stars.
4 out of 5 for Michael.
Yes.
I'm also going to give it a solid 4 out of 5 stars.
Oh, all right.
It's not quite a 5, but it's really good.
It's not, but it's because it has its issues being it's a little fatty.
It's a little.
But,
it could be trimmed up a little bit.
Yeah.
And
but it's still one of those. Yeah, it's
you remove that lot of green screen scene at the end.
Yeah, but it's got a lot of great scenes, a lot of good acting, a lot of good actors.
Just a absolutely stellar cast.
Yeah.
And that's we're gonna close the book on the Hunt for Red October, which means we've reached the end of. Oh fuck! I didn't even mean to do that. Oh man, yeah, I torpedoed my way right into that one.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, is it getting too meta for you?
No, please, not again.
We've reached the end of the show, which means it's time to pick our next movie. Each episode, one of us is at the mercy of the other. Since I picked this movie, it's Michael's turn. What are we gonna watch?
Well, I had something picked out, and you know what it was weeks and weeks ago, but due to recent events and the fact that this movie was a little bit on the long side, the next movie we are going to do will be Batman Mask of the Phantasm, which is on HBO Max.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to watch that.
Yeah, and you know I was stuck between that and something else, but I figured this is going to be the better one for his legacy.
I think so too. I might still watch. He was between that and Justice League Doom, which I might also watch. But
Oh yeah, I mean they're both good, and they're both on HBO Max as far as I know,
Yeah,
which made it a lot harder to choose. I was like, well, if one's easier to get to, then
yeah. I think Mask of the
um,
Phantasm is like an actual work of art.
oh yeah. Whereas Justice League Doom is a movie, so
Yeah.
it's
So
a fun movie and
so
it's neat, but yeah,
yeah. So be sure to watch that. It's on HBO Max. And submit your comments so we can have a little bit more to talk about. Although I feel like even though that's a shorter movie, you and I will
oh, we're gonna have
somehow
a lot.
have more things to say about that one.
Yes, very much so.
And now that I'm coughing, I think that's our sign to end the show. And we will see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Yes. Bye bye.